Right, hi guys, welcome back to the Lola Mastercard My Team Career Mode, or whatever you want to call it. So it's interview day today, as seen on the previous video, and here he is, Will Buxton. I'm grabbing a brew, I hope you do too. Because this one's going to be a long one. So what we got planned then, Will, how's your holiday gone? You been anywhere nice? I know we're in lockdown, but you know, loving life really, aren't we? What we doing? What we're doing for picking up points? Yeah, we'll become a championship team in future. I'm sure we will. You know me. I'm free and easy. We're picking up some points. We've had one podium this year. My teammates picked up a point as well, let's not forget. So yeah, I'm free and easy, Will. Loving life. Second driver, yeah, Nick De Vries is doing fantastic, and actually I mean that because he's done really well in the last couple of races, and like I say, he's picked up one more point than Raghunathan, and in fairness, the car's not really ready to score points yet. It's just that we've been having some brilliant luck with safety cars and various bits and pieces that have happened, especially Paul Ricard, of course, where yeah, that was a bizarre one where everyone got stuck in the pits. But yeah, Will, we're loving life, Will. As you know, the Lola Mastercard team are still here, which is more than they ever did 23 years ago. So yeah, absolutely loving life. I know it's been fantastic, Will. I know, you just love seeing my pretty face, don't you? So there we go, we are now back at the factory. We're advancing the time and we will be heading to, you know the place. Oh, we're having a season break first though, lads. We're having a season break. Well, we've had us 2 weeks off. We've all gone to Majorca for a lads piss up. And it's time to spend some beautiful resource points that we've earned over that summer break. I don't know how, but we have. And we're going to be spending those beautiful resource points in the powertrain area, and this is for the ERS. So it'll be recovering the ERS a lot more quickly, the percentage rate, and we'll be able to deploy it a lot more often during the race, which is a fantastic major upgrade. And that spent all our beautiful resource points. And yeah, we're looking forward to that being introduced because that will help us a lot during those races, especially when it comes to overtaking and defending. And now we are, of course, using those 2 days wisely that we have leading up to the Belgium Grand Prix, and we're going to spend that on some more driver training and driver aids for Nick De Vries, of course, adding to his experience points, and hopefully that will get him further up the field. So we're in the latter stages of qualifying once again. We're going for one flying solitary lap. And as you can see, we are currently in P22 while Nick De Vries is in P19. So not too bad for him. He's ahead of the Williams at the moment. The Williams team have really dropped off lately. But we're looking strong here, looking like a good lap time, a solid lap time around the incredibly long circuit of Spa. And yeah, we're looking good there as we deploy the ERS and across the line. And it is P13 for now. And we're going to have to wait and see where that puts us for the race. And for the race it's P14, so we only lose one position there. So worthy effort, really happy with that, and Nick De Vries ends up down in 20th, miles ahead of the Williams. So Williams are really struggling, but we are closing the gap to As and Alpha now. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how this race plans out. But as always, it's time for David Croft.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. Spa Francochamps then, a 4.35-mile tour of the Ardennes countryside, with 9 right corners and 10 left corners, giving us a grand total of 19. Average lap speeds in the dry can reach about 145 miles per hour, but without a significant improvement in these conditions, we won't be seeing anything like that today. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Now, let's kick off our conversation with Alexander Albon. There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty, and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
Fingers crossed that's one failure they won't have to worry about today at least. There's not much of a silver lining to starting down the field with a penalty, but I think they'll be able to make some of that back up over the course of the race.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Carlos Sainz, and Ricciardo, Albon, Ocon, Vettel, and Daniel Kvyat. Norris, Stroll, the scientist, and Magnussen. Leclerc, they've taken a grid penalty. Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and Roman Grosjean. De Vries, Russell, Latifi and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So as you saw there, various penalties for quite a few drivers, and it's absolutely pissing down. The first wet race we've had this season. We're on full wet tyres for the 11-lap race, and it is away we go from 13th on the grid, and we cannot see a thing. We are blinded by the spray. We've got a McLaren off to the left of us. That's a Ferrari now all of a sudden appearing in front of us, and we've into P10 somehow. There's been some tragic starts there for quite a lot of people. We've slipped through into P9 now. Wow, I wasn't expecting to gain another place there, but yep, someone must have been on the outside. We're through Eau Rouge. That's a bit slippy and slidey through there. That's going to be tricky as the race gets either wetter or drier. We'll have to wait and see, but it's the full wet tyre on Spa at the minute. And we have got, that is one of the Alpha Tauris, that's Danny Kvyat trying to battle his way through and try and take this P9 off us, but for now we are maintaining P9. He just didn't quite get the gap on us there. We just squeezed him through those little complex there. And we are maintaining P9. Esteban Ocon ahead. The whole train of cars actually slows down at this point, so I have to go around the outside to avoid a collision with Ocon. Hopefully trying to gain a position on him, as he seems to just be dropping off the back of that pack now, after he lost a bit of momentum there through the corner with no name, of course. And now we're going through the incredibly really fast left-hander. I love this, so reminiscent of the Turkish Turn 8, of course. I know Turkish Grand Prix Turn 8 came after this circuit, but you know what I mean. It's fond memories of that circuit, and I absolutely adore Spa. It's a circuit we go well at often on every game, but for now it's P9 and we're looking strong. We're running a little bit wide there, but that's okay. Danny Kvyat, we've got about 7/10 to him at the moment. No DRS, of course, because of these monsoon conditions, really. Can only be described as that because it is incredibly wet, but hopefully as the race pans out with us pounding round all 22 cars, we will get a dry circuit at some point, or certainly a dry line as we slide our way through there. That's where Kimi Raikkonen binned it a few years ago, of course, whilst battling with Hamilton for the lead at the Belgium Grand Prix, and yeah, pretty much threw away his championship chances there. But we complete the first lap of the Grand Prix. We have gained a few positions there, and we are up into P9 on lap 1. Incredibly happy with that. As we start lap 2, we're looking to see if we can gain an advantage onto Ocon, but at the moment we're not going to do it, and we are just going to be fending off from Danny Kvyat. So it's the same place a lap later. It's lap 3 now, of course, and Ocon's gone. Ocon is 2 seconds up the road already. We're going through Eau Rouge under massive attack from Danny Kvyat. We're having a big old slide there. Wow, oh wow. We're in through the old pit lane exit there for the old pits. And yeah, that's Danny Kvyat on us now. We've got the rich mix, we've got the overtake button enabled just to try and maintain off Danny Kvyat. And he jinxed to the right to try and force us to brake and get out of it. But we're not buying into that at all, and we managed to maintain P9 for now, fending off Danny Kvyat after a big moment there at the top of Eau Rouge. But currently P9, it looks like this is going to be the best position we're ever going to hope for in this race, because the top 8 are already away and gone, with Esteban Ocon, the last of that pack, already 3 seconds up the road, and now it's almost 5 seconds up the road as we enter lap 4. It's the same place once again. We're going up Eau Rouge, that drying line causing some tricky difficulties, and we have another big slide. Oh, we correct it left, then correct it right, and once again we're under pressure from the AlphaTauri of Danny Kvyat. We're keeping it on the wet stuff, of course, to try and keep these tyres as cool as possible, because they're overheating now with this drying line. It's not doing our car any favours, or the tyre any favours for that matter. But once again, we fend off Danny Kvyat. Same place, same time, it's just a couple of laps later this time. It's on lap 7. Once again, the drying line, top of Eau Rouge. You know what's going to happen here. It's going to be a hat-trick of spins and slides, but this time it's deja vu, but not quite as we know it, because it's Vettel on us now in the Ferrari. He's got through into P9. It makes a change to see him in some points, doesn't it? And we're lunging it up the inside once again. We fend him off, we're fighting him, we get a bit of a slide on there just to force him out of the corner and say, no way, Jose, you're not taking this P9 off us, Sebastian Vettel. You may have a Ferrari and you may be going to Racing Point next year, but I don't think you're worthy of that seat. Get out of it. And now, as you can see, of course, it's Danny Kvyat that's re-overtaken him as well, so our old sparring partner from a few laps ago. It looks like we're going to resume battle once again as he gets ahead of Sebastian Vettel, but as you can see it's just a drying line and it's really overheating the rear tyres, but it's still not good for intermediate tyres as we go wide. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, we just keep it out the wall. Oh, we just keep it out of the side pod of Danny Kvyat, who gets ahead of us, and we're sliding wide. Oh, see what I mean about these rear tyres? I told you they were cooking, guys, but we are incredibly... Oh, we've had contact there with Stroll as well as we slide some more. This lap 7 has been an atrocious lap for us, and wow, oh wow, as it's not gone well at all, has it? We've got Danny Kvyat ahead, he's already 2 seconds up the road, and Stroll behind after we make contact with him, and the yellow flags come out, and in fact the safety car comes out, so it must be debris for a bit of Stroll's front wing that we saw flying there, and that's usually unfortunate, and I apologise to Stroll. Our rear tyres are just cooking, but it's not dry enough for inters yet, or even dry tyres, so we've got no choice but to stay on these wet tyres at the moment. Everyone else does as well. And as you can see, look, the wear rate already 37% compared to 25% at the front. That just proves how much the rear tyres are really cooking up. And yeah, P10 for now. And we're just going to try and keep it on the black stuff as best as possible for the remaining laps. But the safety car is going to be out for a couple of laps. And that, of course, will help us keep grip and keep the grip levels up on the rear tyres that are fading. As you saw there, that with the safety car had missed the leader, so we had to go around and do a whole new lap again. But Danny Kvyat now, we're on the back of him, and he won't catch up to the back of the bloody pack. Come on, Danny, come on, there's a massive gap there, pal, so I'll try overtake him, see if he's breaking down, but no, I have to return to correct position. And it's only that there's a really slow chicane ahead, and the leader didn't go before, that we have caught up to the pack, but I'm up the inside of Danny Kvyat because he's been going so slow. The lights turn green, I'm going for it, pal, I'm going through Danny. I can't believe he left a gap that big, and there you go, look, they're already 1.5 seconds up the road from us now. It's Ocon and the rest of the gaggle. That's how much time he cost us by being so slow and not getting on the power, but we take advantage and gain a position nonetheless, and Kevin Magnussen in the Haas has actually got through too, so that's a brilliant race by him. And we're through onto the final lap now. As you can see, lap 11, we're maintaining P9. The tyres are cooking up a storm once again. A couple of the cars did pit for inters, I heard that from Jeff. And yeah, we're unsure what to do here, but it goes through at the bottom of Eau Rouge and at the top of Radion, and oh, we're having a slide on, and so did Kevin Magnussen, but he's through and already away and gone, as you can see there, as we're on the last lap, and Magnussen already a second up the road after that tank slapper moment for the pair of us. But he's feeling so much more stronger on his Haas tyres, of course, and we get a clobber there for Danny Kvyat, the sparring partner, all race long. And once again, we get another battering around from him once again, but we maintain position. And we're entering the final sector now, and it looks like we've got a point, hopefully, but Lando Norris has got through on Danny Kvyat now, as you can see. So we're going to be under massive pressure from that McLaren behind. Running wide there does not going to help us cause, is it? We're spinning up the wheels, and yeah, it's not gone well, and we've gone wide there, we've clipped the wall. Wow, oh wow, how are we not retired? I do not know. But we're still applying the pressure to Lando Norris now, who's taken our final point off us on the last lap, the shit. But the rear tyres are gone. The rear tyres have absolutely gone. This is how much we're struggling. It's the last lap, of course, though, so I'm going to send it up the inside, reminiscent of what I did to his teammate Sainz at Silverstone. We need to fight for every point we can get, and we have held on to the points for so long. It'd be so disappointing if we didn't get them, and there we go. Across the line, P10. Fantastic effort, we get there in the end. It looked like a promising start to the race, but then overall the wet conditions just didn't suit our car. Nick de Vries gets driver of the day once again for the second race weekend in a row, so really proud with him. Let's see where he ended up after qualifying down in 20th position, of course. Toto Wolff cheering everyone on there, clapping and applauding. They've not got a roof on that Pratt purchase, you can see it's pissing it down, so yeah, it might be the top team, but can't afford a roof. That's not ideal. And it looks like it was a Mercedes 1-2 there, so they do incredibly have a right to celebrate there. Well done to them, all the mechanics hugging and kissing. No masks, of course, no social distancing, they'll be facing a fine. And there you go, Lewis Hamilton from Valtteri Bottas from Max Verstappen, the 3 championship protagonists, all on the podium, and it's time for the champagne!
Have a quick look at how the driver standings have changed.
Yeah. So there we are, P10 taking the final points paying position, and Nick de Vries ended up finishing P14 after starting P19 on the grid after a couple of penalties, as mentioned at the start of the video there, and as you saw. So a brilliant effort by him to gain 5 places. Well done to Nick, indeed. That looks like a roundabout where the car is now. Of course, we've both picked up a couple of points each in the last 2 races, so this looks like it is the pace of the Lola now. We can get 1 car into the points and 1 car just outside, but with these major ERS updates coming, fingers crossed when they arrive for Monza or potentially the race after, we will be looking even stronger and looking to build on that and get better. So there we go, look, 57 points for ourselves. Sergio Perez has got ahead of us, not to be unexpected of course, we're not bothered about that. And still we're firmly in P7 in the Constructors' Championship, and we're doing really well. So once again it's another interview. We don't do 2 very often, but we've had Will Buxton and now we've got our Karen once again. How's Karen doing? What's that? Someone called you love and you're suing them for £1 million. Well, I can't fault you, love. Oh shit, sorry, I do apologise. God, what is the world we're coming to? Things look close between you and Pierre. Oh, I thought it was Danica Kvyat. But whatever. Whatever. I'm not really bothered. Whatever, Karen. You're not wrong, though. I know you're not wrong. You're a feminist. So, surpassing all expectations. Anyone can stop you? Absolutely not. No one can stop us now. We're just going to have to wait and see. Wet weather. I didn't really feel comfortable in the wet weather, but I'm going to say yes just to cheer the team up and just to make them happy. There you go. Team acclaim affected the thing there. Whatever. Well done. So as always guys, that was the Lola Mastercard My Team Career Mode. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week of course for Monza. Much love.